Hi guys, it's Yadira, Happy Healthy Latina, and welcome to my first video. I'm super excited to be here today and a little nervous, but more excited than anything else. I am a culinary student in New York, and I'm also a certified health coach, and I've been on my own health journey, and you'll learn more about that. But most importantly, I'm really passionate about making delicious and nutritious food. Healthy foods, stuff that has a lot of flavor. I'm a Latina, so I love Caribbean food and putting that into my food, but without harming our health or our communities. So I like finding better ways to do the things that we love and grew up with. So the first thing I wanted to start with, when I thought, where do we begin in this vast culinary and health world? I thought seasonings and spices, my obsession. Sofrito, sazon, adobo. That's right, I said it, adobo. We're gonna make our own natural adobo today. Now, many people use the Goya brand of adobo. I myself grew up very loyal to this brand in my family, and when I went to college, my mom gave me my own bottle of adobo, and I felt like I had arrived in the culinary world. But what I noticed over the course of my own health journey and having health issues is that there's a lot of sneaky ingredients in these processed, ready-made products for us. So some of those ingredients are artificial colorings, and also lots and lots of salt. And some of them have MSG, which is a highly addictive food flavoring. So you can have the spices and that seasoning that you crave without sneaking all that extra salt into your diet or into your family's diet. So you may be eating healthy foods, but you're putting adobo on them and the processed Goya adobo, and it's really actually hurting your health. So we're gonna do sazones, we're gonna do adobo, we're gonna do sofrito, and then we're gonna take those things and we're gonna start cooking with them. So I wanted to start at the beginning. So I want to talk to you about the kind of spices that you bring into your kitchen, and it's something that I didn't really think about before until I learned about it, and that's using a non-irradiated or organic spice. But most importantly, you want to look for a brand that's non-irradiated, and that's just a fancy old way to say that the spice has gone through a lot of heat, because when we bring things from out of this country in order to kill the bugs or in order to kill the germs, we put them through a really high heat process. But herbs, which are really healing and have a lot of natural properties, they can be affected by this high heat. So it can kill off bacteria, but it can also kill off a lot of the healing stuff of the herbs. So we want to use a non-irradiated spice, which is an herb that has not been, it's been ground and dried up and has not been through high heat. And two brands I really love for that are Frontier and Simply Organic. I am not being paid. I've simply done my research, and these are pretty easy to find. I order them on the World Wide Web, or I find them in my local stores. But you can order them online really easily. So there's that. And then there's the quality of salt that we use. So for the quality of salt, I want to get away from table salt or salt that has like added iodine to it, which a lot of the table salt does. It's very processed, and we don't need extra iodine in our diet. A long time ago it was thought that we did, so that's where that whole addition came from and kind of stood around. But I really want to get into using, I want you to get into using, because I already use them, sea salts and like pink salts and mineral salts, and this one comes from the sea, so it's got a lot of minerals and natural healing benefits to it, and it actually helps to regulate the sodium in your body when you use a good salt. And then the rest of the spices that I've got are some organic garlic, some dried oregano. This one comes from Dominican Republic. I'm very lucky. My mom brings it for me. But you can easily buy some organic dried oregano at your supermarket, and you can use the Italian variety or the Latin variety, whatever you can find that's non-irradiated, really. Hasn't been through that high heat. And then we've got, some pepper. So our ingredients for this homemade adobo, which is gonna end up looking like this, nice, and it's got that nice yellow color but natural, is going to be oregano, garlic, sea salt, turmeric, and pepper. And And it's really easy to remember this recipe because it's a tablespoon of salt and then just 1 teaspoon of everything else. So you don't really have to remember any special measurements or stuff. And I've got some, you know, minor equipment here to help me out, which is a tablespoon measurer so I can be kind of precise with what's going in. And this is really helpful if you want to know like the exact sodium or exact nutritional value of things. And in order to make my mixture, I've got a spice grinder here, which is just like a fancy way to say a coffee grinder. It's a spice grinder, so I reserved this just for my spices so it doesn't change the flavor of anything else. But you can use a food processor. If you've got one of these, I would take it back and just make your own mixture in here. I do that sometimes, and if I have some extra, a little bit extra left over, sometimes I'll just grind it up in here. I'm doing something really fast or out in the field. And then I've just got a plate to kind of catch my spices. So let's get to business. Let's get down to business. So we're gonna start with my fave, the turmeric. Turmeric, I love you. And you should too. This is such an amazing spice to introduce into your diet and into your life. It's a huge anti-inflammatory. At the base of turmeric is what's known as curcumin, curcumina, and they're harnessing that stuff even into pharmaceutical medicines in order to heal people. And it's been known to like reduce the size of growths. Again, really good if you're dealing with inflammation, which pretty much all of us are dealing with inflammation, either through our digestion or our bodies. You know, we're getting older and we're just susceptible to these things. So this is a really great way to strengthen your immune system, and you're swapping out here the food coloring in the processed adobo, and you're adding this natural, beautiful, vibrant color, but you're also getting this beautiful lemony, peppery taste, which is some of what you love in your adobo. So we're gonna use 1 teaspoon. So you want to look for the right measurement cup or spoon. This is what a teaspoon looks like. And we're gonna grab I have my spice grinder. Just gonna go right into the cup here, and I'm gonna take a teaspoon of this turmeric. A little extra falls in, never hurt anybody. So we've got 1 teaspoon of our turmeric, and then we can just kind of put that to the side. And then we have, again, once we buy these spices, they last for a really long time, and you have them to bring different flavors to different dishes, which I'll show you in other videos how to use them just alone and bring coloring to food or natural like lemony or peppery taste. So we're going to go back for our teaspoon, and we're going to use this oregano, this beautiful Dominican oregano that reminds me of the Dominican Republic and my grandmother's farm every single time that I smell it, so my childhood. We're gonna cover that up. And I've got, you know, these glass bottles, so when I buy stuff in bulk, I've got these nice glass bottles that I order off Amazon that are really easy to store things, and they've got a shaker on the top. So when you make your adobo, you can just shake it out like normal. You don't have to look weird or like you're pulling it out of this magic sack. And then we're gonna use a tablespoon of the garlic, and my garlic and my pepper, because these are things I use a lot, they have grinders on the top. So this is where my plate comes in handy. If you have one with a grinder, you just use the plate on the bottom to catch the extra seasoning, and then you can just put that back into your spice grinder. So as I grind this out, I'll tell you a little story. I didn't just wake up one day and say no to my Goya adobo and like, I can't eat this way anymore. As many things happen, it came out of necessity. And when I was in college, I had a pretty bad accident, and I herniated 2 discs in my neck, 2 discs in my lower back. I broke my tailbone, and I broke my shoulder. I had some surgeries, and I was really laid up in a bad way. So I brought in my 21st birthday with a cane, and I kind of had to figure out fast, well, not fast, because it took me a lot of years, but after hitting rock bottom and being on a lot of medications, how to heal myself. You know, nobody was talking to me about the power of nutrition when it came to your body, but you know, like 80% of our immune system is in our gut, so it makes a lot of sense to treat yourself with food, or heal yourself with food, or at least take out the crappy stuff so that your body can kind of do what it needs to do and help you heal. So I started kind of finding natural ways and to incorporate healing foods into my body, and then I started figuring out how to blend them into the foods that I loved and into my Latin foods and Caribbean foods, and it's really where I came up with what I call my happy, healthy lifestyle. So I'm really excited to share this with you guys. Oh my God, it smells so good, because it is a world of flavor but without hurting or harming ourselves. So we've added now our turmeric, our oregano, and our garlic, and so all that's left is our pepper. And again, this is a teaspoon. So we're gonna look for our teaspoon measure, which is stuck right here. And we're gonna grind our pepper. So I'm in the beginning of my culinary school journey, well, you know, a couple months in, and it's just been so exciting to meet a like-minded group of people that are into using like these whole foods and natural methods to harness a lot of flavor. And hear me when I say flavor, because I am a saucy lady. I do not eat without sazon, without seasoning, without lots of good taste. So it's really important to me that we have the nutritious and the delicious. So you are never gonna find something bland over here. Trust me. So we've got our pepper, so we're gonna add our pepper in. And then we've got our final ingredient, which is that good sea salt. And the thing about this salt, you can see, unlike table salt, it's really chunky. And that's good, because that's what it looks like naturally when it comes out of the sea. And you can kind of control the fineness of it by grinding it or by, you know, pulsing it. So we're gonna add a tablespoon of our salt, and we've got everything we need to make a good natural adobo. So now I'm gonna pop it into my spice grinder. Just move this over to the side so you can see what I'm doing. Y'all, we are making adobo, and we're gonna just grind it till it's fine. We want that sea salt because it's really chunky to really, you know, dissolve. So just give it, take out all your weak anger on this thing. Just hit it. Okay. Oh my gosh. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to make some space on my plate, because I want you to kind of see what this adobo looks like. And like I said, if you have any, you know, extra on the plate, just actually throw that back in the grinder. Just put it in that same batch. Waste no spices, especially when you're buying good spices. Okay, so put that back in there. I'm just gonna pour out a little bit so you can see what this beautiful adobo looks like. You've got that beautiful color, and it's a little bit richer because it's that natural turmeric. It's got such a strong and wonderful taste. And then you're gonna grab an empty bottle. Oh, sorry, I have a bottle with some in already. So you're gonna grab an empty bottle, or you know, you're getting close to the bottom and you need to refill. And you're just gonna dip this in there. And you can use a funnel. If you don't have a funnel, you don't have to get fancy. You can just use a spoon, you know. It may take you a little longer, but that's fine. So this is actually getting stuck in there, so we're just gonna go ahead and do this. Again, the plate is essential to catch on the bottom, because you don't want to waste any of this stuff. And you can kind of just keep scooping it back in until you get all of it. And as you can see, you've got this beautiful color, beautiful lemony, peppery, garlicky taste. Here you've got natural adobo. You can give this to people for the holidays. They will love you forever. You make this at home, you store it, you have tons, and you can use this on your food and feel really good about it. So if you like recipes like this, if you have any questions about how to infuse flavor but make something healthier, please leave me a comment or a message. Follow me online at Happy Healthy Latina on Instagram, Facebook, or Tumblr, or email me at happyhealthylatina@gmail.com. I hope you like what you've seen today. I'll be back with more, and I'm really open to suggestions. Thank you for bearing with me. Mwah! In health and happiness always.